good morning to Miami. I'm sure that they are either waking up with a smile on their face or just going to bed with a smile on their face as still up as they celebrate this big win. It's been a while for Miami, for this program to get back to where it once was, and it took a guy with Miami DNA and Mario Cristobal to do it. He comes back to his alma mater, a place where he played. Actually, I was reading a lot about it last night after they won. Do you know, Evan, so Miami wins last night against Ole Miss, obviously. They are going to the Ship, the national championship game being played in Miami, in their backyard. Do you know that they won 3 of their 5 national titles at the Orange Bowl?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You covered the team.
Yeah.
So it's not only including Mario Cristobal playing there back in 1991. So it's not only full circle moment for him and bringing his former program back to the promised land. It's something that he did while he was playing, actually getting to play for a championship in his own backyard. Very cool full story.
It's an amazing story. And let me just right off the bat tell you where I've been dead wrong and then where I was right a little bit.
Carson Beck?
Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Carson Beck did last night and has done this postseason, and really since the SMU loss, and they've won 6 straight games after that, what I did not think he could do. I was dead wrong about Carson Beck. He was worth the investment of $4+ million. I did not think he was a big-time quarterback. He became famous a little bit in terms of his public perception.
Yeah, you weren't ready to call him 2-time national champion, Carson
not
Beck.
like Nuno has. And I was dead wrong because he was the right guy and is the right guy for this program at this time with this insane talent everywhere that the nation saw last night with Malachi Toney, who was unbelievable as a wide receiver, Mark Fletcher Jr., the running back, the great defense. I was wrong. The Miami fans, the Miami alumni that paid for this player, obviously, to acquire him, and Mario Cristobal, they were right. I was wrong. Egg on the face. Carson Beck last night did enough to get this team to a championship. Do I think that he missed throws still? I do. Do I think he's perfect? No, I do not. Would I take him in the first round of the draft? I would not. It does not matter, Smalls. I was dead wrong, and let me own that right off the bat today.
Okay, so maybe you do owe a little bit of an apology to Nuno, because when he wrote the preview for the show, he said 2-time champion Carson Beck, and you had an issue with that. And Nuno's argument was, well, I'm phrasing it that way because he's a veteran guy who has experience, and he knows what the cadence of a season and what a postseason is like.
Yes.
He knows what a winning locker room looks like. He knows what to tell the guys around him about the ups and the downs, the emotions of a journey like this. So are you ready to also apologize to Nuno?
No, because the nature in which he wrote it was as if Carson Beck led Georgia to a title twice. That didn't happen. Carson Beck is a champion if they win their next game, January 19th, in their home building here on ESPN Radio against the winner of tonight's Indiana or Oregon. I'm not going to give him that. But did he have championship DNA last night on that final drive where there's 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter?
He sure did.
And they're down 27-24 with 3+ minutes to go, 15 plays, 75 yards, 255. He has a rushing touchdown to win the game, which they have been encouraging him to use his feet. If all of a sudden a pass rush is coming in, scramble a little bit, which, by the way, he did not have a rushing touchdown since week 3 of the season. So does he get credit for that championship DNA on that drive? He does. He missed throws to start the drive and got a pass interference out. But it doesn't matter.
Let's just talk about.
That's why you go get Carson Beck. I mean, throughout the season, in situations where they needed to make a play at times, it just wasn't there for this team. And since then, they've been a different football team. And in this one, this was different. In the first 2 games they won in the playoff, it was protect the ball, don't make a mistake out of Carson Beck, don't turn it over, and let's try to run the football. This one, in the end, in that fourth quarter, they needed Carson Beck to make play after play, and he did that going over the middle of the field, which is something he wasn't willing to do in the first 2 games. But this was the Carson Beck that Miami fans expected to see when they went and got this guy that's played a lot of football.
Okay, fair. But Smalls, I still don't want that funness. Is the ability to rely on the run game and just be a game manager, which again is a compliment. The reason I'm so wrong is because he managed games, and I actually thought they should have run more last night. Mark Fletcher was unstoppable, 6 yards plus per carry, and there was one play specifically where I'm sitting there salivating if I'm a head coach when Fletcher's running the ball and the entire offensive line is pushing him yard after yard after yard. I'm like, this is team football. This is hard-nosed, nasty kind of football. But again, I was wrong about Carson Beck. Where I was right? Going into the first weekend of first couple of days of college football playoff, we asked the question, this is now in December, is there any team playing this weekend? That was the first weekend, the non-bye weekend, or the bye weekend for the big teams?
Yeah.
Is there any team that can win it all? And I said, yeah, I think Miami can. Mm-hmm. And that part I was right about, but Carson Beck I was wrong about.
So you're saying that in the national championship game, you just want him to make good decisions, do enough for them to win, not beat the hero.
Yes. Well, okay, was he the hero last night? In some ways, I guess he was. He was because he had the game-winning touchdown.
I would say most people waking up today that watch that game, he's the first thing they're going to lead with.
And that's okay. I don't think he was the best player on the field for Miami, at least on the offensive side. Mark Fletcher Jr., 22 carries, 133 yards. Malachi Toney, 5 catches, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. And by the way, Carson Beck also threw an interception before Ole Miss took the final lead for them of the game last night. The other guy across the way, Trinidad Chambliss, I was blown away impressed on the final drive with seconds to go. He had 2 phenomenal completions that set up a Hail Mary attempt that everybody is screaming and yelling today should have been considered a pass interference. Now, there is some controversy with this on that final play, whether or not it should be pass interference. I think that's a tough one on a Hail Mary to call a pass interference. Was there tugging on the jersey from the Miami defender? Yes. I also thought there was tugging on the jersey a little bit from the Ole Miss receiver, though, Smalls.
Yeah,
did Ole Miss get screwed last night?
I don't think so, Ev. I'm with you. That is such a hard play to call in the moment. And I don't know. I don't know if I would have called it any differently.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I understand why they're screaming and yelling. Ole Miss,
of course they are.
And we're going to get to the Ole Miss part of it in a little bit.
There's a lot there.
But this is, you got to give the credit to Miami. And then the question becomes, as always with the U, is the U back? Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Canes, as Small as mentioned, former player for Miami, former assistant coach for Miami, now head coach for Miami, which, by the way, storylines any which way you cut it. The national championship game is either going to be Mario Cristobal coaching against the team he left to go to Miami, Oregon, or Fernando Mendoza going and playing in his home state. He's a Miami kid. Against the team that did not want him. So any way you cut it, we have juicy storylines, but here's Mario Cristobal post-game after his team advanced with Scott Van Pelt.
I loved what you told me last time about cringing initially at the idea of being back. And there's still 60. I'm not. You trust me enough to ask a question. Let me ask you a question.
You're a professional, brother. You're a professional. I do trust you. Just hit me up with 1-0 and we're going to be great.
I'm asking you, what are you proudest of tonight that you accomplished tonight? 1-0 is always the goal. What are you most proud of that your group accomplished tonight?
Wow, I don't know where to start. I guess I'm most proud to be part of an organization because, again, I get to sit here and do the interviews and be in front of camera. There's so many people, man. I mean, the way our medical staff works, strength and conditioning, sports science, like much, and have gotten us this far, but we didn't come this far just to come this far. We still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and U's back. It's back as the resiliency of losing those 2 games, SMU that last one, Louisville before that, the 6-game winning streak, the dominance on the defense, the winning through that offensive line, as he mentioned, with Mark Fletcher Jr., obviously, as a running game, Bain Jr. on deep. Like, of course it's back. Because once you start getting going like this, more money's going to come in, more excitement around the program. You're playing a national championship at home. You got the Michael Irvin on the sidelines, Ray Lewis. I mean, of course it's back. Is there any doubt?
Are they back if they don't win?
Yes, they're still back if they don't win because
the culture is back.
Yes,
the vibes are back.
Yes,
also,
yes,
I love that they start the season number 18. They're the last team in. They're kind of an underdog story, a gritty story. When you think of the U, of course, you first think of championships. You think of that swag, that brashness that comes with wearing the U. But you also think of a program that's a problem, a program that's going to dominate. And the fact that they were a team that were overlooked by a lot of people throughout the season based on where they started in the preseason rankings and how they entered the playoff, that to me adds a little bit of that Miami juice to the story.
31-27, 11 third downs converted, 6 lead changes, 4 in the fourth quarter, game-winning 15-play drive. Carson Beck does his job and some, scores a game-winning rushing touchdown, no pass interference on that Hail Mary. And the Canes are going to the title game on January 19th against the winner of tonight's game between Oregon and Indiana, and all of it, of course, on ESPN Radio. That is not the only national football story coming out of the 305. There's another one, in 954. We will